I'm your huckleberry.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a new optic from Cvlife. They did send this out to the channel for me to review, so keep that in mind. But this is the BearMight 6-24x50 first focal plane optic. It's a 34mm tube with all the features that one would want in a modern day optic. And it actually comes in at a pretty good price. I think these are on Amazon right now for about $2.99, but if you look around you can find some clickable coupon codes. And sometimes if you jump on gun.deals, you can find really good discount codes there. If I find any while I'm editing this video, I'll annotate them and include them down in the comments below. So let's go ahead and take a look at what comes on this thing, guys. So you do, of course, get the optic itself. You do get flip-up scope caps. I had the rear one taken off, but they actually fit really tight, and they function well. They don't want to pop off when you flip them open. I just always take off my rear cap. This is a 6-24mm optic, and it is first focal plane, which means that when you're adjusting your zoom level, your reticle will actually shrink and grow with the zoom level so that it is always accurate for calibrations and drops and windage and everything at every different power level, which is really nice. Now inside the package you do get a manual. We'll go ahead and flip through that now. If you guys want to see anything, just pause the video and read it. And if you guys can hear a fan running in the background, I'm sorry, but it is hot as hell in my shop today. So that is what I'm going to have to do. Alright, so that's the manual. It does come with a set of rings. Now the rings for this optic are Weaver mount rings. Go ahead and open that up and I'll show you the difference. Okay. They seem to be very well made. They are machined out of aluminum. They give you your different torque specs for each one of these. So when you're putting the scope in, you want to do 18 inch-pounds. When you're attaching it to the rail, 30 inch-pounds. It's a 34mm ring, and it is a 1.45 height from the rail to the center of the optic. So these rings would really be good, I would think, for something with a flat top like an AR. But if you're not mounting this on an AR, you're going to want to probably get a lower set of rings. On the upside, rings aren't that expensive, and it is really nice that they include a set. And these are perfectly usable. You just may need to use a cheat riser or something, depending on your application. But these are Weaver rail mounts, which means that this slot that's milled into it is a little bit narrower than what you would want for a Picatinny mount. Now, that may not cause you any problems at all, depending on how you mount the actual ring. But with a Picatinny specific mount, it would have a larger slot there that would engage in the rail void and would prevent any back and forth shift. So on the particular rifle I'm installing this on, it is a Picatinny rail. So I actually picked up a different set of rings from a buddy of mine, and that's what we're going to use to install it. But in the bag, we have a cleaning cloth. You got a zero stop, which is kind of cool. I'll explain that once we're zeroing the rifle. You get a little throw lever that threads on. That's nice that they include that. And two 2032 batteries that you're going to use to power the illuminated reticle on the optic. And there's a little tool there as well to take off your caps so for your return to zero settings. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, the rifle I'm going to mount this on is the Ruger American Ranch, chambered in 7.62x39. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get this thing mounted up. I'll bring it back, show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll go out to the range, test it out, see how it performs, and I'll give you guys my recommendation on whether or not I think it's worth checking out. So stay tuned. Let me go ahead and get this thing mounted, and I'll be right back. See you soon. Alright guys, so we're out on the range now. I've got the Ruger American Ranch chambered in 7.62x39. And I am going to be zeroing the Cvlife BearMight 6-24x50. This is a first focal plane optic. If you will notice, there are different scope rings on this gun because the ones that come from the factory with the BearMight are just too tall for my application. So I purchased some lower 34mm rings. And we're going to see how everything comes together today. Everything's been put together, torqued to spec, and Loctited. And I do believe we are ready to fire the first few rounds. We're going to do this here at 25 yards. That's typically how I like to zero rifles. I shoot a few at 25 just to make sure I'm good left to right, that I'm pretty close to center that way. And then I'll push out to about 100 and we'll see how it do. I'm pretty excited about this because this gun usually prints pretty well. I usually get about an MOA. If I'm really lucky, I'm having a good day, maybe sub MOA, and this is with steel cased ammo. So today we're shooting some Sterling. I'm not really sure. I don't think I've shot this through this particular gun yet, but we will see how it performs today. So I've got a fresh target out here at 25. Let's go ahead and see where we're at. All right. That was way to the right. So we're gonna go to the left a lot. Now this particular scope does not have locking turrets, so you can just make your adjustments freely. Some people are gonna like that, some people aren't. I'm kind of indifferent to it because it does have zero return capability. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these optics. This one does not have the locking turrets where you have to snap them out to make adjustments. You can just freely turn it. So depending on what your application is, you may want to look at a different option in the 34mm tubes. But let's go ahead and see if I can make some adjustments here and bring this thing closer to the center. Oh yeah, I'm to the right, so I need to come left. Go ahead and try that there. Okay, that was a lot better. Still a little to the freaking right though. That was a little too far the other way. Let's try that. That was dead center. All right, now we are low, which we should be sort of low at this distance. I feel like I am a little lower than I want to be, so let's see, up is this way. I'll try it right there. All right, now we're about 1.5 inches low at 25. We're about 1.5 inches over the bore, so that's what I want to be. Let's go ahead and put some fresh targets out at 100, and we'll see how this thing performs. Let me go ahead and set that up now. I'll be right back in a minute. Alright guys, so here we are with the Cvlife BearMight. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in from 6 to 24 power. Okay, here we are about the halfway point. And all the way over to max magnification here. And that's 24x. As you can see, it's very clear and crisp. And now I'm going to go ahead and zoom it back out. Thankfully in this one I was able to hold the camera a lot more steady, and you can see a very good depiction of the zoom level all the way in and out. Alright guys, so we've set some paper targets out at 100 yards now. We're going to go ahead and try to dial this thing in at 100, see how it's grouping. Typically, like I said, with this rifle, even with wolf ammo, I was getting really good groups. I'm kind of curious how this Sterling is going to do, but we're going to find out. Once we're done shooting, I'll do it all in one take. We'll take the camera, walk down, you guys can see the paper. Unfortunately, I don't have a multi-camera setup right now, so I'm unable to film the target and the shooter at the same time. What the hell kind of wasp that was, but it's big. But let's go ahead and get started before we get eat up by some kind of giant wasp out of Jumanji or some shit. Alright, let's see. Alright, so I'm currently on 20 power. I feel like that is more than enough. Let's see how this thing's printing. I'm going to start off on the bottom target. All right, we are low. Let's go ahead and bring that up some more. About 5 inches. Having a hard time seeing where that one went. Try another one. I'm going to move up to the top target just because it's solid white. I don't see where that's at. That thing seems tight. I'm just going to fire one into the white and see if I'm hitting where I think I am. Okay, so it's possible that I'm in the bullseye and that's why I'm not seeing it. Let's go ahead and shoot another one at the bullseye and see if it groups. 24 power does make it kind of tough to find your shot. A touch high, that may have been me. Try to stabilize myself. Alright, it seems like it's pretty much dead on, so I'm going to go ahead and on that last target. I'm going to shoot a group. Let's see how many rounds I got left in here. I've only got one. Go ahead and grab a couple more, we'll make a group. I just realized those are wolf rounds that I'm shooting. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fire the last one and then we'll shoot a group of this Sterling and see how it does. Let me load up a few rounds of this. Let's see how this kind of shitty looking ammo. See how it prints. 5 rounds there. We're going to go to the top left target. See what kind of group we can get. This ammo is definitely higher, printing higher, but we're going to shoot a group and see what we get. All right, if I'm seeing it correctly, we got about a 2-inch group out of this Sterling ammo, which is not ideal, but like I said, I've never tried this shit before, and it is definitely not printing as well as the Wolf does. But the scope itself seems to be doing pretty well. I think right now, looking at how the Wolf was printing versus the Sterling, I'm going to leave it where it's at because it's pretty much zeroed perfectly for that Wolf ammo. The Sterling is going to be running about 2 or 3 inches high, so I can just account for that if I need to, but I'm going to leave it where it is, adjust my turrets to 0, and I'm going to mainly try to shoot Wolf through this until I run out, and then I'll readjust it if I need to for the Sterling. But that's what we're going to do for now, guys. But so far, the scope itself seems to be doing pretty well. The last one I reviewed from Cvlife was the Eagle Blaze. And it may be because the Eagle Blaze has a 56mm objective, but I like that one better than this one. Just looking at the two side by side. And I'll actually, if you guys want, I'll do a comparison video between the two. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that, and we'll get that done. But I definitely think I like that one a little bit better. This one works fine. I have no issues with it. But we'll get into more of the differences and the pros and cons in that next video. So let me know if you guys want to see that. And I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to do my goodbyes. So thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. It does help out the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Peace out. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the targets. See you then.